Country with a population of 5 crore, approximately 70% of its area is completely empty. 90% of Spain's population lives in Madrid, and these red highlighted coastal areas and this yellow highlighted area near the beach is completely empty, meaning 40.5 crore people live in just 30% area of Spain. However, Spain is such a country which is rich in climate and geography. There are beaches, dense forests, mountains, deserts, but still, why are the people living in such a strange manner? And it is not that no one always lived in this yellow highlighted area. Rather, a few years ago there were many people living here, but now, if you go to this central and northern part, you will find entire villages where there are empty houses and buildings that have become ruins because no one lives there. But why is it so? This strange population pattern of Spain has a very deep connection with its history, its politics, its geography, and some social facts. In today's video, we will learn some things about Spain that you probably have never heard before, so let's go back thousands of years when this entire area of Iberia was under the control of the Roman Empire, and it was called Hispania. At that time, the Roman Empire was spread from northern Africa and Europe to the entire Middle East of today, and it was becoming very difficult and expensive for the Roman rulers to manage such a large empire, and that is why they divided the Roman Empire into two parts. The eastern part became the Byzantine Empire, and the western part became the Western Roman Empire. But after this revision, the power of the Roman Empire started to decline. The German tribes spread in Western Europe started attacking the Roman Empire, which weakened the Western Roman Empire, and then finally, in the 5th century, the Western Roman Empire collapsed. The whole area of Iberia came under the control of a Germanic tribe called Visigoths, who ruled this entire area for 250 years. But their control was temporary because very soon the Muslim Empire emerging from Arabia would come under its control. She was going to take control of this entire area. In the 8th century, the Muslim Empire was at its peak in the Umayyad Caliphate, and its territory extended from the north to today's Middle East and Northern Africa. And to expand this territory further, in 711 AD, the Muslim army attacked Spain under the leadership of Tarin Vidyat and captured this entire area. The name of Spain was changed to Androl. Muslims ruled Spain for the next 800 years. In these 800 years, there was a lot of development in science, philosophy, and architecture in Spain. If the Muslim Empire faced continuous Christian resistance called Reconquista was actually the battles fought by Christian empires over the centuries to drive out Muslims from Spain. At the end of the 40th century, in the Battle of Granada, the Christian armies finally defeated the Muslim armies and regained control of Spain. From here on, Spain became a major colonial superpower in the world. At the beginning of the 19th century, the Spanish Empire was spread across almost the entire American continent, from California to Argentina. And even here in Asia, the Philippines was also a Spanish empire. But then slowly the Spanish Empire also started collapsing, and by the beginning of 1900, this empire, which was spread over 50 lakh square miles, was reduced to just 195,000 square miles. Then, in 1930, a very bloody civil war started in Spain, which ended in 1939, when the nationalist forces under the leadership of General Francisco Franco won the war. And Franco became the ruler of Spain for the next 30 years, and this period of 30 years is considered the darkest era of the modern history of Spain. In 1915, 5 lakh people were killed, and the Spanish economy was badly affected, and then the rest of the work was done by the protectionist policies of General Franco. This was the time when more than half of Spain's population lived in rural areas, and all these people were involved in farming. Frank closed the borders to save the local industry and completely stopped imports, after which Spain was totally cut off from international trades. Due to the border being closed, farmers were not getting any new machinery, pesticides, or any technology with which they could increase their production, and on top of that, the government was also controlling the prices very strictly, and the result of all this was that the industry also started collapsing, and many people started leaving the rural areas and moving to other countries. At the end of the 1950s, Franco started realizing that his policies were wrong, and he slowly started opening the borders for international trade. And from here, the Spanish economic miracle started. Two things happened due to this opening of trade. Firstly, trade started with France, Germany, and England, due to which economic activity started increasing. Secondly, all this economic activity was happening in the big cities of Spain. All the big companies were in urban areas. Now, wherever there are companies, there will be jobs, and wherever there are jobs, people will go and live there, and this is what happened with Spain. Earlier, due to collapse of agricultural industry, people had left these rural areas, and now, due to good opportunities in cities, people started leaving these central areas and moving to big cities, which are mostly in Spain, are on the coast. So history and political decisions are one reason for this population pattern of Spain. The second reason is Spain's geography. Spain has a lot of mountains. So much so that Spain is the second most mountainous country in Europe. There are 6 mountain ranges here. In the south is the Batic Range. In the center is the Iberian and Central Range. On the northern side are the Debrian and Leon ranges, and on the northeast is the Pyrenees mountain range, along the border of France and Andorra. This is the screen of the northern side of Spain, while deserts are on the southern side. The temperature here is the highest in the whole of Europe, and in the past few years, climate change has had a very bad effect on Spain. According to the United Nations, 74% of Spain is in the process of desertification. As a result, 18% area of Spain can become a desert forever. In such a situation, due to lack of proper water facilities in rural areas, many people are leaving these rural areas and going to cities. Similarly, if we look at the most empty region of Spain, then it is this area on the northern side, which is called Spanish, Lapland, or Siren, or Calrenia, Celt of America, and this area is bigger than countries like Denmark and Croatia. The biggest reason for low population here is these mountain ranges, due to which construction or building a red road network here is a very difficult and expensive task, and that is why proper infrastructure could not be built here, due to which this area is very backward even in the 21st century. Similarly, just 100 kilometers away from Madrid is Satan, where once many people lived, but now it is becoming a ghost town, and today only 50 people live here. But the depoliticization here is not due to geography, but due to lack of infrastructure, as well as another big problem, and that is low fertility rate. Spain is the only country in Europe where the fertility rate is the lowest in the whole of Europe. In the last 5 years, there have been more deaths than births in Spain. Spain's fertility rate has been falling steadily for the last 50 years, and the biggest reason for this is people staying single and unstable employment opportunities. These people take so much time to improve their financial situation that they miss the marriageable age. 10% of mothers in Spain give birth to their first child at the age of 40, and this is the reason why the average birth rate in Spain is 1.19 per woman. This means that on average, a Spanish woman gives birth to only 1 child. And according to NIS data, any country needs a rate of at least 2 children per woman to sustain its population. According to statistics, if Spain's birth rate does not reach 2, then by 2040 Spain will go into net negative population growth, and it will need at least 60 to 70 lakh immigrants to make up for this population shortage. This low birth rate is also a big reason for this empty area, for which the Spanish government will have to give benefits and grants to couples and also provide better infrastructure in rural areas. Otherwise, this population pattern of Spain will worsen in the times to come. It will keep getting late, because on one hand, the new generation is not being born, and on the other hand, the generation that is still alive is also moving to other countries for a better quality of life. Who knows what will be the fate of this Spanish Empire that ruled the world for many years in the coming years? These are all the sources from which we have consulted for this video. We would request you guys again to give your suggestions and feedback in the comments. Your comments give us motivation as well as direction. If you like the video, then please like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video with another interesting topic. Take care of yourself.